evening, ladies and gentlemen. As always, we're going to start with a moment of silence, so if you could please rise. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the inaugural meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Port Hope for the 2018-2022 term. We're here tonight to witness the swearing in of our new council as they begin their first meeting of many, wherein they seek to represent the best interests of the citizens of the Municipality of Port Hope. We are lucky to have with us here tonight the Honorable Mr. Justice Alan Ingram to administer the oath of allegiance and declaration of office as prescribed under Section 232 of the Municipal Act. Your Honor, I'll now turn things over to you.
I have the honor of administering the oath of office, and this is being done before your friends and family and colleagues and your constituents. And we will call you up one by one to take the oath, and once you've taken the oath, you'll take your seat in the dais and you'll have to sign your papers. So first, we will start with a returning member, Les Andrews. So please repeat after me. I, Les Andrews,
I, Les Andrews,
having been appointed
to
the municipal office of councillor,
the municipal office of councillor,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office
to
the best of my knowledge and ability, that I have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner, that I will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
and I make this solemn promise and declaration, conscientiously believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Take your seat. And now we will call upon one of the new councillors, John Bickle. Repeat after me. I, John Bickle, having been appointed to municipal office of councillor, Ward 2 in the Municipality of Port Hope, do solemnly promise and declare that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I have not received
that I have not received
and will not receive any payment or reward
and will not receive any payment or reward
or promise thereof
or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased, corrupt,
in a biased, corrupt,
or in any other improper manner,
or in any other improper manner,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
that I will disclose any peculiar interests,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
with accordance to the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
and I make this solemn promise
and I make the solemn promise
and declaration conscientiously believing
in the declaration conscientiously believing
it to be true
it to be true,
and knowing that it is of the same force
and knowing that it is the same force
and effect as if made under oath.
and effect as is made under oath.
Congratulations. Now, another new counselor, Lori Carr. Who I understand has lost her voice. I, Lori Carr,
I, Lori Carr,
have been appointed to municipal office of counselor,
have been appointed to municipal office of councillor,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare
that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially
that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially
exercise this office
exercise this office
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I have not received
that I have not received
and will not receive
and will not receive
any payment or reward or promise thereof
any payment, reward, or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner,
in a biased, corrupt, or any improper manner,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with
in accordance with
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
and I make the solemn promise and declaration
and I make this solemn promise and declaration,
conscientiously believing it to be true,
conscientiously believing it to be true,
and knowing that it is of the same force
and knowing that it is of the same force
and effect as if made under oath.
and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations.
All right.
And now, a returning member, Jeff Leeds. I, Jeff Leeds,
I, Jeff Lees,
having been appointed to municipal officer of counselor,
having been appointed as municipal officer of counselor,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
Ward 1, Municipality of Port Hope,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare,
that I will truly,
and truly,
faithfully, and impartially
and impartially
exercise this office
exercise this office
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I have not received
and that I have not received
and will not receive
and will not receive
any payment or reward
any payment or reward
or promise thereof
or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased,
in a biased,
corrupt,
corrupt,
or in any other improper manner.
or in any other improper manner.
That I will disclose
That I will disclose
any pecuniary interest,
any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with
in accordance with
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
and I make this promise
and I make this promise
and declaration
and declaration
conscientiously believing it to be true
conscientiously believing it to be true
and knowing that it is of the same force
and knowing it to be the same force
and effect as if made under oath.
and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations.
All right, yeah.
And another new counselor, Wendy Meadows. I, Wendy Meadows,
I, Wendy Meadows,
having been appointed to municipal office of counselor,
having been appointed to municipal office of councillor,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
Ward 1 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare
that I will truly,
that I will truly,
faithfully, and impartially
faithfully, and impartially
exercise this office
exercise this office
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I have not received
that I have not received
and will not
and
receive
will not receive
any payment or reward
any payment and reward
or promise thereof
or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner.
in a biased or corrupt or any other improper manner.
That I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with
in accordance with
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
and I make this solemn promise
and I make this solemn promise
and declaration
and declaration,
conscientiously believing it to be true
conscientiously believing it to be true,
and knowing that it is of the same force
and knowing it is of the same force
and effect as if made under oath.
and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations.
All right, Wendy.
Another new counselor, Vicki Mink. I, Vicki Mink,
I, Vicki May,
having been appointed to municipal office of counselor,
having been appointed to municipal office of councillor,
Ward 2 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
Ward 2 in the Municipality of Port Hope,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare
that I will truly,
that I will truly,
faithfully, and impartially
faithfully, and impartially
exercise this office
exercise this office
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I have not received
that I have not received
and will not receive any payment or reward
and will not receive any payment or reward
or promise thereof
or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner.
in a biased, corrupt, or any other improper manner,
That I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with
in accordance with
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
and I make this solemn promise
and I make the solemn promise
and
and
declaration,
declaration,
conscientiously believing it to be true,
conscientiously believing it to be true,
and knowing that it is of the same force
and knowing that it is of the same force
and effect as if made under oath.
and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations. Now the returning mayor. I, Bob Sanderson,
I, Bob Sanderson,
having been appointed to municipal office of mayor
having been appointed to municipal office of mayor
in the municipality of Port Hope,
in the municipality of Port Hope,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare
that I will truly,
that I will truly,
faithfully, and impartially exercise
faithfully, and impartially exercise
this office to the best of my knowledge and ability,
this office to the best of my knowledge and ability,
that I have not received
that I have not received
and will not receive
and will not receive
any payment or reward
any payment or reward
or promise thereof
or promise thereof
for the exercise of this office
for the exercise of this office
in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner,
in a biased or corrupt or any other improper manner,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
in accordance with
in accordance with
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II,
And I make this solemn promise and declaration,
and I make this solemn promise and declaration,
conscientiously believing it to be true,
conscientiously believing it to be true,
and knowing that it is of the same force
and knowing it is of the same force
and effect as if made under oath.
and effect as if made under oath. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to introduce you to your new council. Before I get to turn things over, next order of business is remarks from our Member of Parliament, and I believe Jamie Simmons is here to give those remarks on behalf of MP Kim Rudd.
Thank you. Good evening, and unfortunately, MP Rudd was unable to be here this evening as she's in Ottawa, but she asked me to bring a few greetings on her behalf. I'd like to extend my sincerest congratulations on your inaugural council session. To the new councillors, and of course to those returning, I wish you every success in your new roles. Public service is one of the most noble of callings. You give generously of yourselves for the betterment of our communities. MP Rudd, I know looks forward to working with your council in areas of mutual responsibility and in partnership for the betterment of all residents of Northumberland County and of Port Hope. Again, let me congratulate you on what for some is your maiden voyage and for others our continuing journey. As councillors, I know the next 4 years will bring you both successes and challenges, but you will meet them with your individual skill sets and your collective drive to advance your communities. I've had the pleasure for the last 3 years myself of working with Mayor Sanderson, council and staff on a number of initiatives, and I have to say it's been a great pleasure, and I couldn't ask for a better bunch of folks to work with from the federal level. So again, thank you and good luck.
I'm told our MPP, David Pacini, is caught in traffic, so I think the mayor will make some room later on in our proceedings for his remarks. And at this point, I'm happy to turn this over to Mayor Sanderson.
I didn't vote for any of it. Gotta turn the mics on.
Good evening, everybody here? Okay. So good evening, Honorable Justice Ingram, distinguished council, members, staff, guests, friends, and family. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2018 inaugural meeting of Council of the Municipality of Port Hope. And on behalf of Council, I am honored to stand before you this evening to express our appreciation to the residents of Port Hope who've elected and entrusted us with the task of guiding the municipality forward over the next 4 years. I also want to thank all the candidates who ran for office this fall. You know, in an age of divisive politics around the world, I'm proud of the way that the campaigns were conducted in our community. And I hope that all candidates will continue to passionately serve our municipality, and I expect that we will see many of you joining our committees and boards and participating in the many community initiatives that take place here in Port Hope. Over the last few weeks, I have met with this new council, both individually and collectively, and we've had some wonderful discussions about our upcoming term of office. I can assure you that this council is committed to working together in the interest of the municipality, and that we are prepared to roll up our sleeves, dedicate ourselves to building a stronger and more vibrant community for generations to come. As mayor, I believe that you have chosen a solid group of people to lead Port Hope. We are comprised of individuals who are entrepreneurs, former business owners, who have deep-rooted community ties and are long-term community volunteers, who have impressive management experience and have served on various boards and committees throughout the community. This council represents a mixture of ideas and approaches, and I believe that as a whole, we will deliver on the promises that we made during our campaigns, and we'll do it with perseverance, determination, focus, and vision. The next 4 years are pivotal, and this is not a time for mediocrity or sitting on our hands, sitting on our laurels. Rather, it is time to hold ideas and decisive actions to work as a team to invest in our community. This is what we have been elected to do. During the election, there were many priorities outlined by your newly elected officials. We promised to address the affordable housing shortage, poverty, homelessness, the long-term care priorities. We committed to a continued focus on culture and heritage in our community. We vowed to foster economic growth and implementation with an emphasis on our Blue Dot resolution and sustainability. We pledged to address the rural internet deficits and other infrastructure deficiencies. We affirmed our commitment to transparency and ongoing openness. To our new council, it's time to accept these challenges head on. We are responsible for our future, and we will not achieve real success if we are apprehensive or take a laissez-faire approach. Our decisions need to be made with a view of the impact they make on our vision and with governance as a guiding principle. I pledge strong leadership and will continue to deliver the best that I can give, and I will ask the same in your efforts in return. 4 years sounds like a long time, but I can tell you from personal experience that will go by very quickly. And at the end of our term, I hope and expect each and every one of us to be proud of our legacy. During our term, we must not take our eyes off the vision of what Port Hope is and what we want to maintain. We are unique, albeit a little bit quirky sometimes. We are a small town Ontario at its finest, an agriculturally based community with strong heritage and culture and values. And I believe that together we can and will achieve our goals. We have a collaborative, talented, and dedicated staff, and we have the support of our citizens. So working together, we are an unbeatable team. But we must be prepared to take action and assume responsibility. Resources will always be a challenge, but I believe we can overcome concerns through good forward financial planning. Our investments in our community will not only make life better for everyone here, but it will be the foundation for sustainability and will deliver a return on investment. And last but not least, I'd like to acknowledge and thank all of the outgoing council members for the 2014-2018 term. Your commitment and support during the last term was extraordinary, and we are a better community for it. So thank you for all the time and work you provide us to get us where we are. We are ready to make a difference moving forward, and it starts tonight. Our greatest days are yet to come. So Council, I look forward to your support. Roll up your sleeves and let's get at it. Thank you. I'm not sure if these microphones are working, but the next order of business is our bylaws. Tonight we're required to choose a deputy mayor, and I'd like to open the floor for nominations at this point in time. Are there any nominations? Councillor Lees.
Thank you, Mayor Sanderson. At this time, I would like to nominate Councillor Les Andrews as Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Carr, do you accept the nomination?
I do accept.
Thank you. Are there any nominations from the councillors? Seeing none, nominations are closed. All in favor of Deputy Mayor Andrews? Now, clerk, I have the bylaw here. Do you have it at your desk?
I do. We can sign the paperwork at the conclusion of the meeting, however.
This is fairly long. Do I have to read all this?
No, you don't. We'll just take two separate motions. The first is for the first and second reading of the bylaw.
Good.
And then the second will be the third and final.
You said this would be a short meeting. So moved by Councillor Lees and second by Councillor Carr. Now therefore be resolved that bylaw 94, 2018, being a bylaw to appoint a deputy mayor for the Municipality of Port Hope and alternate member of Northumberland County Council for the Municipality of Port Hope be ready first and second time. All in favor? So moved by Councillor Lee, second by Councillor Carr. Now therefore be resolved that bylaw 94, 2018 be read the third time passed, that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor, hung the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and engrossed in the bylaw book. All in favor? Carried. Does that work for you, clerk?
That's everything. And Mr. Mayor, if I could interrupt, the next order of business is resolutions, but I see that Mr. Pacini has arrived.
Could I ask Mr. Pacini to come up and address the new council and the audience? Thank you. Sorry you caught the traffic, but you did give us the heads up, and you certainly understand that. But that's the problem with going to Toronto sometimes, you know?
Transit, number one. I just wanted to, on behalf of the Government of Ontario, say a very warm congratulations to all of you. Not only, of course, on behalf of the government, but as someone who lives in Port Hope as well. Commend all of you for putting your name forward. And a thank you to those out in the audience who served on previous council. I saw some big smiles. I know that's also because they look forward to the work that you're doing. We have an excellent council, but I'm sure a smile of relief as well, because I know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, at times thankless, and a lot of hours that you put in. So on behalf of the Government of Ontario, a very big congratulations to all of you elected. I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I too was recently elected, very much on a mandate here in our community to be responsible stewards of our tax dollars, to make sustainable choices for our future, affordable housing, in our transit, cannabis, a big issue coming up in the province, and I look forward to working with all of you as we roll that out at the municipal level. In addition to that, attracting investments here, preserving the rural nature of our community, and what sort of community do we want to be. And I would say that I heard from a number of you during the campaign, and something I'm keen to working with you on at the provincial level is looking beyond just the mandate of your next 4 years, looking to the future. What sort of community do we want to be? How will we grow, not just the bedroom community of Toronto, but making sustainable and strategic investments to attract industry to our community and to really grow as a rural community where people can live, work, and raise a family. So again, a warm congratulations to you on behalf of the Government of Ontario. Looking forward to working with all of you in the coming days and months ahead. I already have the first order of business, letter from AMO, that we wrote AMO, and a full FAQ and package on the recent cannabis legislation. So looking forward to working with all of you, and congratulations again.
Thank you, MPP Puccini, and we look forward to working at both levels of government. And I understand and appreciate in our discussions that you will be opening up an office, your constituency office in Port Hope.
Yes.
Yes, and I think that's amazing, so thank you very much for that. So with that, we'll go to the next order of business, which is a resolution. And Clerk, do you want to address this, just to summarize a little bit?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In our procedural bylaw, it outlines the appointment of our committee appointments and standing committee chair appointments. At our first meeting of council, understanding that that is somewhat difficult to do before proper departmental orientation takes place, you have a report in front of you tonight with a recommended motion you can use if you wish, essentially to delay that appointment process, and we're talking a meeting or two or three, to a further time when you've completed substantially the adoption of the 2019 municipal budget. You're in the process of planning for the strategic plan, or the process for adopting the strategic plan, which we proposed in January 2019, and further awaiting our procedural bylaw review and committee review that staff are currently working on and wish or plan to propose for the next meeting, next regular meeting being December 18th, 2019. This is just a proposed motion. If council has a desire to make those appointments sooner into their term, I'm thinking December 18th meeting, we're happy to receive direction otherwise. I'm happy to answer any questions about the outlined process or the outlined plan. But, again, this is just a proposed motion for your consideration.
Thank you very much. I'm going to just do a little summary. And we've had some discussions prior to this about the portfolios and chairing those. And I think what's come forward is a suggestion from staff and from the clerk that if we wish to, we could delay that process. There's no requirement to make that decision quickly. In some of the discussions that we've had, the preference seems to be that we would like to, some of us would like to have those appointments identified sooner. So I would open up that to council just for that input at this point in time. And anybody who would like to step up can do so now. You need to step up.
microphones off. I think that given the nature of what we're going to have to be doing in a very short period of time relative to a number of items on our agenda, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to start thinking seriously of appointing portfolios to each of the councillors. We could probably do this meeting individually and making sure everybody's preference and skill sets are used to the maximum. And we could probably get it in place before the next meeting and propose back to staff and to the rest of council our intentions.
Other comments?
Yes, I would agree with what Deputy Mayor Andrews has just said.
Okay, so what I understand from both discussions prior to tonight, and from these comments, is that we would like to see these appointments made sooner than later. To that point, what I would suggest is that we could have a motion that, as mayor and deputy mayor, that we talk to the councillors elect, right, and that we talk to staff and we come forward with some recommendations for the next council meeting. Would that be appropriate for everybody? Okay, so I could make that motion, and if somebody would like to make that. Councillor Bickle?
I'd like to make the motion that we go forward and appoint whoever to the boards and committees, the sooner the better, and that way we can get down to work and get
Okay, so the motion, Councillor Bickle, would be that the mayor and the deputy mayor would undertake to talk to council and come back with recommendations to staff with those appointments to be implemented for the next council meeting on the 18th. Would that be appropriate? Is there a seconder for Councillor Meek? All those in favor? Okay. That would be carried. We said it would be a short meeting, which is why I didn't read that, bring it on. Okay, and I do just want to make some acknowledgements, and I want to just reiterate a couple of things that I did in my inaugural speech, which I read because it was very important to get some of the facts across. We do have a great community, and the turnout tonight is a testament to that. The number of people who are showing up who also ran for council, and the involvement at every level in this community is astounding. So I just want to reiterate that this council is going to move forward boldly and address all issues directly and openly, and with the eye on the future. We're structured well, and when I make comments about the staffing and the structure of our staff, we are extremely fortunate after this period of time, to have a staff that we are absolutely confident, will help move us forward. I think you have elected a wonderful council, and we will have open discussion. There is not an issue that will come before this council that we will not resolve. But we will roll up our sleeves and put a maximum effort, boldly moving forward to achieve goals. This is not a council. We have spent a fair bit of time, I think, getting the municipality structured, and staff has done a lot of work. We are very fortunate with the last council and the approach we had, and I think we now can move forward really as a team, and that team consists of council, it consists of staff, and it consists of all you folks in the audience. We are open, transparent, and we will be working with you and for you. I want to just, again, emphasize, this is not the time to sit around. We do have a lot of pressure on this community. It's coming for growth. We need to control it. And I think if, through the election campaign and during my speech, we are a community, we're proud of our community, but we want to keep it our community. Port Hope is unique. And as I said, we're a little quirky, but we're pretty good at that. Agriculturally based, principles and values. We need to protect those, and we need to find out a way to make sure that we can sustain ourselves financially going through this process. So if anybody is looking for this council to be complacent, look elsewhere. We're going to be moving forward aggressively. We're looking forward to it. We're going to be counting on your support, and I'd like to see this room full all the time. So once again, I'd like to welcome every councillor, and congratulations to the Deputy Mayor. I look forward to working with you. We've worked well together today, and I expect to do so. Councillor Lees, thank you very much for your past support and your continued support and your mentoring of the new council. And as I think everybody knows, this council will be open, transparent, and we will deal with issues. So with that, I look forward to the next council meeting, and I think we have a little announcement in that we will not get a big budget item, but we will have some refreshments, and you can hang around and chat for a bit. Okay? And so we'll be doing that immediately upon adjournment, which is effective now. We are adjourned. Thank you.